came from. But you know where you came from. Be it France, Ireland, I don't know, Australia, New Zealand, I don't know, Germany, Russia. But we're here to say, this is my country. I am the real true patriot. My grandfather who fought in the war was a real true patriot. Every single Black American child over the last year who had to show up and face not one but two pandemics, they are the real true patriots. All of our educators are Black and brown educators who had to show up despite having to be a teacher, but then also having to educate their fellow white teachers. They are the true patriots. We are the true public servants.
That's right.
And we have to continue to do this work.
Yes.
We are still waiting for our legislators right here in the state to declare racism a public health crisis.
Right. That's right. We are.
If you want to understand what racism does to the human body, to the human mind, to our finances, to our generations that come before us and that came before us and are after us, just look at today. Yeah. Looking at the many Black and brown people weeping. There is a sorority of mothers, like George Floyd's mother.
Yes, yes, yes.
I'm sure she was even weeping in heaven.
Reunited now.
And so many white people say, but you're so focused on this, about Black on Black crime. There's no such thing.
Right, right.
And we know the two babies who were murdered here in Hartford not too long ago. Trust me, we haven't forgotten about them. We know that our community is hurting. We know that the Asian community is hurting. But please let us not forget the reason why we have situations where a 16-year-old and a 3-year-old end up gunned down like that is as a result of patriarchy and white supremacy and capitalism.
There you go. Speak the truth.
That is why we have education and poor communities suffering.
Yes.
That is why we have people living under their means, not even being able to provide. Matter of fact, there's a group home in Manchester that the town of Manchester is looking to funding for. A group home that holds kids who all attend Manchester public schools. And the group home is surviving off of Power of CT's food pantry and food share.
Wow.
So you mean to tell me you have a problem with defunding the police, but you don't have a problem with defunding children?
Right.
You increase the budget for the Manchester Police Department, but you cut $100 and something thousand from a group home?
Yeah. And
if the kids don't have a place to live, like this place at TLC, and they go into foster care and go into another county, guess what, Manchester taxpayers? Y'all gotta pay for them kids to go to school there. Yeah. So you have a problem with the term defund the police, but you don't have a problem with kids having to eat a group home, having to go to food share and a pantry to feed children.
That's crazy. It's crazy. Unacceptable. Totally unacceptable.
So today is a reminder that for all of those in Minnesota who showed up day in and day out, who wept,
yes,
who cried,
yes,
who mourned,
yes, yes, yes,
who marched, who protested, who rioted, and who looted. Today, I say thank you to all of them.
Yeah.
To all of those that stood guard to make sure the police didn't come through there and said, no, you're not coming through here. This place is sacred ground. To all of them out there, I say thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
We might be here in small numbers right here, but it's still important for us to gather because we need to let them know that we hear their cries all the way over here.
That's right. Right. And we are one.
And we are one. I am hopeful that I don't even know the female officer's name who killed Dante Wright, but I am hopeful that the jury for her, if she decides to take it to trial or whatever that happens, that we can have justice there too.
Yes, yes.
I am hopeful that more information and hopefully body cam footage will come out with Anthony Thompson Jr. and so that his family can get justice. I'm hopeful that we can get some answers about, I think his name is Roger Allen out in California, Valley City. They'll City, Valley City. I'm hoping we can get some answers so we can get justice for him too. And I am hopeful that at some point we begin to have conversations so we can start really examining that it's not about individual police officers. We are talking about an entire system. And I don't give a damn really who you are and how good you are, but you cannot fix that system going into it being an officer thinking somehow you're going to fix a foundation that was built on corruption and lies and murder and genocide and rape.
Right.
That's where we're going to get some real true justice.
Yes.
And I'm just hopeful that for myself, that I will still stay in a place, and I'm hoping that I can put that energy forth into others, especially my Black people, that we stay in a place where we want justice and not revenge.
Yes. Yes.
Because I can't tell you how many times I've sat up with my kids and we've actually talked about, we've shared our feelings of wanting revenge. And then we go to bed, and we wake up and we feel renewed and we go back at it again.
That's right.
Say his name.
George Floyd.
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 And Breonna Taylor, baby, we have not forgotten about you. We know it may seem like you will not get justice. I don't know how you will. I don't know how Tamir Rice will. I don't know how Rakia Boyd will. I don't know how Rashard Brooks will. I don't know how Sandra Bland will. I don't know how Elijah McCain will. I don't know how all of these young, Adam Toledo, I don't know how they are going to get justice, but I have to be hoping that somehow the joy will come in the morning.
Yeah.
So I'm just grateful to be able to have this space and be able to connect with other activists and organizers and co-conspirators. And so that way we can take our energy. I guess that spiritual side of me that was raised when it's coming up, because all I can hear is where 2 or 3 are gathered. And there's way more than 2 or 3 or 2 or 3 of us out here. And so therefore, if there's that many of us out here, baby, there's a lot that we can do. There is something special about the energy of people who decide to stand up against things like injustice, things like police brutality, things like racism. There is something about the power of 1 or 2 or 3 Black women coming together and saying that we are not going to give up. We are the mothers of this country. We birthed this country and we fed it and we continue to nurture it and grow it. And if I am going to remain hopeful, that means that you can remain hopeful, and you can remain hopeful, and you can remain hopeful, and you can remain hopeful. As a Black woman who was attacked right here at this Capitol on January 6th, if I can remain hopeful, then I demand that those of you who stand in support of Man of War Monday, United People for Progress, Power Up CT, any of them, that if I can remain hopeful, all of you can remain hopeful.
That's right.
Protesting works.
It does.
Protests and rallies work. Marching works.
Yeah.
And if don't nobody know it, white feminists know it. And on that note,
Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Karen.
So I'm very humbled to be here today. So many different emotions. The verdict came out. I don't know. I didn't know whether to laugh, to cry. I think I was in the boat at the same time. I was screaming out the window. My kids was like, "Mom, what's wrong with you? You're embarrassing me." I'm so overjoyed, and I'm so thankful for the ancestors leading the way. I'm so thankful for Elder Saunders, Power Up Manchester, United People for Progress, Black Lives Matter 860. My sister Nikita was up on the front lines in Minnesota.
Beautiful.
And people all over. But my husband said something in particular to me while we were in the car, and he was like, you know, it's so sad that we would be worried at the same time. We were worried because in this world, like if we're human, you would expect if somebody would do something bad to a human being that it would be no doubt that they would get locked away. But as black people everywhere, we was on the edge. Like, you know, I didn't know if I wanted to watch or not. Right. And I don't know, I guess that's why I just, you know, I still stand and say it's not liberty and justice for all. I refuse to pledge to anybody's flag. My kids, I don't even let them pledge. Because the next trial will come up or the next case, and we'll still be having that feeling like we're not sure about the country that we was born and raised in. And we won't never as black people just know the outcome. Then I was thinking about what Corinne said. If you want to abolish the police, but you don't have a problem with like the education system, right? Like, that's a problem. We've been fighting a long time for education here, and we had what in the past 2 years, 21 felon schools here in Hartford. And then I think of the education system in America alone, and how a baby we just learned over the weekend. A baby in Michigan, her hair was cut off because they said it was too rapid. This is what I'm talking about when there's no liberty and justice for all, because if that had been a different colored child, I'm sure that person would have been in jail. Yes. You know, me as a parent, I would have been in jail. But a kid is going through trauma right now because her hair wasn't right enough for America. You know, so I don't know. It's just so many emotions, and I hope that this is one step forward to a new start. And I hope we don't have to go backward when it comes to these other cases and trials, because we're always holding our breath. So my thing is, Astro My America, make it look like us, make it reflect us, make it filled with us, because our ancestors were not asked to be brought here like Corinne stated. We're just here, and we helped build the community, and it's just time. I don't know what to say after this. I don't know what to say after this. Because if something else comes out, we don't know how it'll go. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I probably was prepared to get arrested today because that's how angry I was. Me too. But thank God turned it around. Give this to I was gonna say Black Power! Black Power! That's right.
John Selders with More Money CT. Here's what I've been saying this for a while. What time is it?
Right now time.
Okay. So you got it? You got it? Right. I've been saying this for a while. What time is it?
Right now time.
What time is it?
Right now time.
What time is it?
Right now time.
What I mean is the way stuff used to go down, right? Shoot somebody, few folk come out on the street, have 5 seconds worth of whatever, and then it go back to the way it used to be.
Right.
So you started the name Philando Castile. We done forgot about him. But he was in Minnesota, wasn't he? Mike Brown. Y'all remember him? Oh, Trayvon Martin. Y'all remember Trayvon? Let me call the roll. Emmett Till. So it's been a long time. Sam Cooke had that right. Long time coming. But something in me senses a change. Is gonna come. So media has already been asking, what's next, right? You feel hopeful. And what a buddy of mine said, and I'm been repeating, we're in a moment. In the midst of a struggle, and a long struggle. It's been accredited to Dr. King, but a Unitarian Universalist minister by the name of Theodore Parker said this: the more arc of the universe is long, but it bends toward justice.
Why? Why?
And then we were in Ferguson, and we heard some of our family down there say, that more arc bends because we bend it. So we're about the business of bending.
Yes.
Making change happen.
Yes.
Protest by protest.
Yes.
Arrest by arrest.
Yes.
Turn up by turn up. Change will happen. Hallelujah. I feel like I'm a preacher again. I don't mean nothing. That's how I'm a preacher, so that's what I do. That's what I do. Get the mic and we preach.
I know that's
right. Right. That's how you preach. You be preaching. Okay. Daughter of a preacher, preaching. Right. What I sense and feel from the rest of you is the same. My heart is with George Floyd's family, his brothers, his daughter, his girlfriend, all of them. They got to take every media request. They're out on the front line. Their pain is public.
Yes,
and upfront,
yes,
you know?
yes.
So my prayer, my heart, our witness is with them.
Yes. Thank God for them too.
Them jurors, those jurors who saw it, it took them about 10 minutes, really. In my sanctified imagination, I think it's about 10 minutes. They had to be in there 10 hours, but you know, they had really hooked this thing up already.
Yeah.
My heart is also with the dozens and dozens and dozens in recent memory of family members of the people whose names we know, whose names we've called here in this space. Quan Solomon, right here in Hartford.
Right here.
While I know they have a sense of, okay, this was cool in George Floyd's case that they got a verdict, but we ain't got a verdict.
Yes.
We can't even get them to bring it to trial. And so our work ain't done. And so I'm committed. I know a couple of you all are committed as people who look toward and are active in that bending.
Yes, yes. We've been.
God bless. We're going to be here when folk are here. We here.
Yes.
Right?
Thank you so much.
So that's what we got to do. Peace.
Amen. Amen.
When you said the jurors, quite honestly, thank you for that defense attorney. Because the way our judicial system is set up, had he not had somebody come forward, they would have had to drag this out along. If he had to represent himself, they would have probably declared some sort of mistrial. So as much as I hated that defense attorney and how he was attacking the witnesses, I am also grateful for him answering the call, so that way they can say, okay, this was a just and fair system. He was represented, and the attorney was in sound mind, and he showed up every day, and he did his job to the best of his ability. So that way we can end up here today with a guilty verdict. And I'm gonna just let the music speak for a little.
Yes, there you go. That's right.
Family. Just wanted to make sure we came back on just to say thank you for all of your support, for all of the witness that happens when we do what we do. Peace. We'll see you. Keep talking to you.
I was born